maintained. So it's very clear, I think, to us that it was closed for political reasons, and that's why we saw the resignation today of Giles Fraser.
But that is no logic. That's no logic at all. Why did he resign?
Well, I think Giles Fraser resigned today because he didn't want to see a violent eviction. He welcomed us here on the Saturday when we first came down here, and I think it was an internal.
So now that's a very serious thing, because you see the armed police which is active. So they are already now on behalf of a provocation which took place. Some Turkish fascists bringing some stone, put in your pocket, and then come the City of London and says, you have a stone pocket which you are going to throw against us. This kind of provocation is taking place in the Kurdish tent in the moment, and that is the problem when Fraser resigns. Yeah, and he has resigned. So therefore it is now intensifying the task for yourself. That means you in the moment lead the world's press about, but more important is to sort out that thing with the armed police.
I think the important point to make, which is being reported on, is that there's actually been discussions between the City of London Corporation, the church and the police about evicting us, and I think that this position, which was non-violence and protest supporting position, was acceptable.
Yeah, but you see, in the moment, globally, it's only Oakland and Atlanta which has a problem. When you have, for instance, here the very important Canadian solidarity address from St. James in Canada, together with quite a number of British bishops which are on your side, whether he has resigned or not. That is in the moment the one strength which you have not. That asks for you to be allowed to communicate free from reprisals and violence.
Thank you.
That's the most important. Free from reprisals and
have a discussion about this.
No, that's
Thank you.
Yeah, but you know,
that's what the General Assembly is to take the microphone. Please do that then, yeah?
Thank you.
that's
Just briefly, I mean, did anyone have any other sort of brief questions that we can answer just whilst we're in this open space?
They usually do the General Assembly either here or back there.
Yeah. Okay, so should we go along this way? Yeah.
About the little streets going through by Right, basically these small streets, can you hear me now? Yeah. Good. Anybody over there? Basically these small streets have been asked of us for fire safety, health and safety, so we've complied with a lot of these things. Obviously not with anything that's massively over the top.
And this fencing was put up so that the fire exit to the cafe is completely accessible and there's no sort of obstructions.
Basically, I think that probably concludes that we have basically not given any cause to the...
Yeah.
On the walls over there, every spare space has been used by people who want to put out messages, or slightly more arty in some cases. Solar panel for our use, so trying to keep it sustainable. Right. Yeah, well, maybe I should wait here. Do you have anybody? Everybody's up here?
Yeah, so there's what this tent here is actually a meditation tent. So there's people here who all different faiths, all different religions. So I think that people are planning on staying here maybe longer than originally anticipated. There's a shared space there for
faith practice, and they've got a beautiful solar panel over there, which is part of trying to make the energy usage of this space more sustainable.
So the big white tent that we can see now on the right is the kitchen. So you know it's pretty much open 24 hours a day. and they're providing all the campers here three meals a day, so that people can go about their work here, campaigning, etc., without having to worry about food.
Also, I guess if you're financially poor, then it means you can afford to stay there.
Absolutely. Plus the number of donations from both on-site and off in terms of both money and food has been basically smacking.
Before we get to the kitchen, the other thing that you'll see on your left-hand side here is that we've established a sort of recycling area. So all the litter on the site is being recycled and collected by the council. It's being separated, and that's why the camp's so clean. We've got a really amazing team of people keeping it clean.
Can you hear us at the back, by the way?
It's a really important part of sort of advocacy and maintaining good relationship with the general public, that we maintain this space as a safe, clean space, and not just some sort of riotous free-for-all.
At the beginning, it was actually sort of like quite difficult to get the council to actually come down. We had to basically say that we were going to go through the church. They basically said, I think in response to this is private land, please leave this site and fall back. I think their response was, well, this is private land, the council won't be taking away your rubbish. To which we eventually, over a period of days, managed to get them to take it away and to do proper collections and everything. A couple of people, basically, they gave us portaloos which are over there. We're maybe not going to go through this space. The police gave us those originally when we were kettled. Then immediately, as soon as the next day, they took them away. So we were left having to depend on the goodwill of local businesses. Some were more keen than others, especially at the start, and we eventually got donated 2 portaloos, which are also serviced by people who've been donating that, so that's obviously absolutely amazing.
Because we're quite a large group, what I'm going to suggest is at the end of the tour, if you want to have a look in the kitchen, maybe go as individuals, because they probably won't appreciate a huge group of us going in at once. So if we go up this way, and the tent up here, the black tent in front of us is the technical tent, so they're maintaining sort of the internet connections here and sorting out electricity and all this sort of technical things. They're maintaining that. They're really great team.
Basically, computing, communications, energy, all this kind of stuff, all the technical stuff. They're all in there. Right. I don't know if I can actually open this place. I wish it's there. Okay, maybe not. What is this?
Guided tour.
You're a guided tour, are you?
This tent here is the media tent, so the media team work here updating the website, sending out press releases to newspapers, television.
We've got a nice entrance around the back, so that we don't bother them too much. This one, very important tent, the legal tent, which is where you have all the legal observers, the people who have contacts to some of the lawyers, barristers and so forth who are supporting us in case of trouble, basically. It's also the crew that give people legal observer training, and from what I hear that might be necessary over the coming while. So more eyes the better.
This tent here, it's been put up in the last couple of days. It's a clothes store. I think people are sort of exchanging clothes and repairing clothes and things like that. So that's probably good. Yeah, making their own. So that's probably going to be quite useful if we're staying over winter as things get even colder.
That's one generator. Obviously, it's kept under proper health and safety.
The tent here on the right hand side is resources tent, so if anyone's cold and they need more blankets, they can go there, get that kind of thing. There's also materials in there for making new signs and all this stuff. It's quite a
it's calmed down now, but especially at the beginning when we needed lots of tables, tents, all the rest of it, there was a wish list, and people from all over were bringing bucket loads of materials. You had literally piles of stuff, and basically helped us stay warm, get organised around this space.
So the final and probably most important stop for us now is the tea and coffee tent. So if anyone would like a drink, please do help yourselves. Are there any sort of questions about
First aid tent.
first aid tent? That's with the legal tent, isn't it?
It is,
First aid,
yeah.
It's in
Sorry, my bad.
It's been moved. Has it been moved? Is it there now? Yeah. Yeah, I sort of went home yesterday for about 3 hours, and when I got back, everything had sort of changed. It's sort of constantly evolving, and
Yeah, as you can tell from that comment, it's quite an organic process. This is now the first aid tent. We've got 2 trained nurses. We've got a doctor on call. We've got, I think, a chiropractor. We've got lots of first aiders. Obviously, if somebody's arm gets severed, we will still be calling the ambulance, but hopefully that's not going to happen. Also, behind, well, TMNF, it's also, I don't know, if anybody needs a bit of looking after, a bit of TLC.
yeah.
And behind that, actually, you have the International Commission, I think that's right, that just came up, dealing with the international links,
Sort of international outreach,
international outreach. Yeah, that's just come up. So.
Yeah, we're trying to sort of really build those relationships with other occupations around the world. And one of the things that we're about to start doing is sort of collecting information about what are the lessons we've learnt here, what sort of things can we share with, you know, brothers and sisters around the other occupations. So that will be useful, I think. So any other brief questions before cups of teas and coffee? Yeah. I forgot to mention actually near the library, near the university, there is also a library as well.
Most definitely.
So that's a really good space. Although my tent's right next to it, so during the night it's like the noisiest place in the world. You know, so it's not a very good library in that respect. But
in that respect, we've now got a tranquility team to help deal with issues at night. I think we haven't really run through all the various groups. I mean, there's so many different ones. I'd probably bore you to death if I went through all of them. But some of them have, basically the info tent is also very much the space that collates all the information. So
between groups.
Yeah, exactly. Between groups, but also has boards giving what's happening today, what time, where, and has basically contact details and so forth. You have, for example, you've got the shelter group, which is if you're not going to be around for a night or so forth, you can actually put a little cross up on your tent. Go and give information to the info tents. If they'll put it in a logbook, and anybody who needs a tent for that period of time can actually use that tent.
Yeah. And if I wanted to communicate with one of the other working groups, like the media team or whatever, I can. We all have pigeonholes, so we can leave notes and messages for other work groups. So there's communication throughout the day outside of the general assemblies. So it's working quite well. It's working quite well.
I had a question about the other camp.
Finsbury Square. Yeah.
Are you guys in communication with them in case you have to leave here?
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, there is an outreach. I'm in the outreach group, but there's an outreach group on Finsbury Square, and we're in touch with each other. And it's still a relatively new camp, but those links are being made so that information is being passed.
It doesn't seem like it's as big of a camp as this one.
No, and it's a smaller area as well, so it sort of won't be. But I think it's a really important site. It's very visible actually in that area. It's very, it's a really important site.
I just stopped by there yesterday just because it was near where I work.
Yeah.
And it was really
What's that one
interesting.
there for then?
Sorry?
Is it outside something?
Basically we were running out of space here, and we needed sort of what's the word? Overflow area.
You mean there's still people coming here?
There's still people coming, and it was becoming a little bit uncomfortable, you know, sort of, and it, you know, could have become a health and safety problem if we'd been cramming tents together.
But there might have been a media issue, basically. Obviously, we want to present the best possible media image. Which doesn't mean that we can't be talking about fairly radical stuff at the same time.
But it just proves that the whole sort of 9 out of 10 tents empty thing is just absolutely ridiculous. If the tents were empty, then we would be using them to house people. We wouldn't just be sending them over to Finsbury. We need as many people here as possible, but we need people to be comfortable as well. And so, there's a lot of material on the internet now which just shows how ridiculous that claim was, and the technology was being used ridiculous. Well, I don't understand the technology, but it wasn't being used appropriately.
But obviously we get more people sort of like daytime, and especially in the evening after work, we get quite a lot of people come in. I remember having quite an interesting discussion with somebody who was about to go to work, who eventually ended up telling me he worked for Goldman Sachs, but I actually had quite a constructive discussion with him, which is surprising. And it is actually surprising that when you don't shout at people and you actually try and engage them in debate, how much you can win over people's support actually. But obviously that won't be the case with everybody. So
I got another question about the tour. We did bypass that area, and I haven't been here before. But what exactly? I mean, it may be hard to explain, but what is going on there with that section?
At the front, it's a Kurdish group. I think it's the PPK, isn't it?
oh, are they actually PPK?
Yeah. Well, that's,
PKK.
Sorry, PKK.
then,
Yeah, sorry.
Not water.
Yeah. So, to be honest with you, I don't know what's going on at the moment. But all I know is that the police were armed and raided the tent. So yeah, I'll have to go down and see what's going on at the moment.
Okay.
It is unpleasant, and it's of course we know what the media is now going to do. They're going to focus on that for the next few days. And there's been very little media coverage that really has captured the sort of spirit of what is happening on this site. This incredibly democratic, open space where wonderful things are happening. People are becoming politicised and aware and conscious, and yet the media always focuses on these minute aspects. But we all know this probably already.
I think that's why this, in a way, that's why this exists.
Yeah.
Because people are frustrated and they just want to talk to each other and not be drowned out by this sensationalism.
Yeah, and we have links to. Sorry.
As is the Guardian. Paul Mason's been very good on the BBC. He wrote some really good stuff because he's actually been down here, sort of walking around all day and sort of experiencing it.
Who was the guy who was actually doing the report for BBC News just earlier? Because I don't know all my BBC News reporters. So. Okay, yeah.
Tea and coffee? Tea and coffee, yeah.
And if it's calmed down, well, actually, yeah, we probably can. I don't know, basically what's down there, yes, we could definitely show you the info tent and the City University space.
And do feel free to go and have a look in the kitchen if you want to. It's quite impressive. The public have been really generous and donated food and money. I will never say plenty because we won't be able to give more. and we're really desperate for water. Actually, No, we are. We had an announcement just on the floor. Really? Yeah.
As in the bottles, because otherwise there's a tap just around the back.
Yeah, no, we really need some water. Anyway, Right, thank you.
Okay.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
What do you think? You have individual questions?